Hi everyone and welcome to Unit Review. We're your hosts, Jack
and Dan.
Today we're going to be looking at one of my favourite characters out there.
Oh yes,
Trazyn the Infinite.
absolutely. He's the way he's portrayed in the books and everything. He's in the lore. He's one of the standout characters in 40k. Never mind just the Necrons.
He is. I think just like again, like even people outside of the Necrons know who he is.
Oh yeah,
and he's just an absolute funny guy.
He's a living meme in lore, definitely in the community.
He certainly is. He's very good in the books, but let's see how he is on the tabletop. So Dan, stat block. You want to start off?
Yes, stat block. I think things are going to start okay here, and then we're going to see which way it goes.
We'll try and, for this character. I love him, but let's try and be as positive as we can.
Yes.
For this guy.
Okay, stat block. He's got a movement of 5.
Yeah.
He's got a toughness of 5.
Yeah.
A save of 2+. Mm-hmm. He's got 6 wounds, which is nice. Mm-hmm. His leadership 6+, OC of 1, and a 4-up invulnerable save.
Let's like hype train him. Like, let's go, best stat block out there. trying to get you up there.
Look, I'm like,
just like what are you talking about? But yeah,
Zendaya face there. Yeah,
it's an okay stat block. It's nothing to shout home about. But the unit composition side of things, then. So this guy is obviously one guy by himself.
Yes,
he costs 75 points.
It's cheap.
Yeah, not too bad. He's equipped with the empathic obliterator.
Well done, yes.
I got it right. Thank you.
I was
Dan.
like, I'm not sure I can say this one.
I was happy for you to step in if need be. He can lead the Immortals, Lich Guard, and Necron warriors.
It's okay.
Yeah, I think that's it, isn't it? It's okay. It's all right. Keywords though, Dan.
He's a Necron, so he's got the Necron's keyword. He's got the Noble keyword.
Yeah.
He's got character. He's Trazyn the Infinite, and he's also got the Epic Hero keyword.
Yeah.
So just all the ones you'd expect there.
Exactly, very standard stuff. Move on to the weapon side of things. So again, he's got the empathic obliterator. This has sustained hits D3. It is only a melee profile, no shooting. So he has 4 attacks, hitting on 2s, strength 7, no AP, and D3 damage.
That is such a weird profile. It's got big early codex energy, hasn't it?
It really like for all the effort that they've done to get rid of like this randomness to their attacks. For some reason, he's slipped under their radar.
I know
on that one, and it's having no shooting capabilities as well. Just doesn't seem right.
No.
Doesn't seem right for this guy. He seems to be very not loved by GW from
AP
the
0
start.
is just odd for a character as well. It's just odd.
It's 75 points, no AP. Come on.
Yeah.
What are you playing at GW? Sort him out.
Abilities wise, this is the opportunity for GW to make him really shine.
Yeah. But does it?
No.
I'm trying to hype him up so much because I love him. But
this is a hard one for us because we both love the character, but and we would love to make him work in games. But I don't think either of us have found a way to do it yet.
Nah, not at all.
We'll come on to that. But abilities wise, he's got reanimation protocols as you'd expect. So at the end of your command phase, you can reanimate D3 wounds back to the unit.
Sure.
He's got Ancient Collector. While this model is leading a unit at the end of your command phase, if that unit is within range of an objective marker you control, it remains under your control, even if you have no models in range with it. So basically, what is known colloquially in the game as sticky objectives.
Exactly.
Put Trazyn's unit on there. Yep. In your next command phase, it becomes sticky. He can then go off and do other things.
Exactly.
That's actually quite good.
It's that by itself is like one of the best kind of abilities out there.
I like it a lot. Yeah, I'm a big fan of it.
Just tied in with everything else that he has. that's why this guy just doesn't.
Well, this is the odd one because this is the other ability is the flavor, if you like.
Yeah.
But in game, it's not actually. It doesn't seem to just work. It doesn't quite click.
Not at all, Dan.
So it's called Surrogate Hosts. At the start of your command phase, if this model is on the battlefield, you can select one other friendly Necron's infantry character model on the battlefield, not the Scorpec Lord or another epic hero model.
Yep.
The selected model is destroyed, and it ignores any rules that are triggered when that model is destroyed, and this model is put in its place with all of its wounds remaining. And if the selected model was leading a unit, this model now attaches to that unit as its leader. So basically, let's say Trazyn is up the board with a 5 Lich Guard.
Yep.
The Lich Guard are getting minced. You can in your next command phase, you can kill an Overlord in say a unit of
like
warriors,
Royal Warden or something like that.
or Royal Warden,
Something
and drop Trazyn into that unit instead.
Yeah,
in its place.
Which sounds okay, but it's just like such a dull down from 9th edition where if he died, you have the 2-up save to basically move him to a different HQ.
Yeah,
I prefer that because it's like, I'm gonna lose him, but I'm not going to lose him because I'm going to bring him back elsewhere. But this one is like you're literally just sacrificing other HQs that arguably are probably better. Like, you know, 40 points for a Royal Warden who allows them to fall back and shoot and do actions. It's like, well, that's much better than what he can do overall. So it's a big shame, I think, on the abilities front.
Yeah, and in terms of synergies, in terms of stratagems, it's difficult to find any that
I had a good look, and everyone out there. So again, thank you all much for your comments that you've been putting on all of our posts. But realistically, you guys said the same thing. There's just not very many one-board combos, and
there's very little stratagems. There's the old favourites, I suppose, in terms of if you're leaning into sticky objectives and you're playing Hypercrypt, you could use a Cosmic Precision to get his unit on.
We had to get that in there, didn't we? We had to get Cosmic Precision in there.
I'm going to get it in there somewhere. It's
every single review, Cosmic Precision coming your way.
Cosmic Precision review. But that is, you know, as far as I can see, that is fundamentally it.
Well, that's it, because obviously you want to stick objectives, you want to get them up the field, so Cosmic Precision will be good, but again, just like it's not good. It's not good, unfortunately.
So what about? And again, as Jack said, thanks for some of you that contributed. We had a few ideas, and yours sort of kind of echoed ours, to be fair. But there's the best ways to play him.
I think we all echoed each other because he's just so limited with what he can do. So everyone just realistically said, look, a blob of 20 warriors, or again, a blob of 10 immortals, where basically you rock these with the Chronomancer as well.
All right.
Mainly because since these guys don't move very fast, like typically 5-inch move we said before, so he needs them around the board. So the reason why you pair the Chronomancer in there is because when you move, when your shooting phase, after you have shot, the unit can move again because of the Chronomancer's ability.
The old shoot and scoot.
Exactly. So you get at least 10-inch movement in there. And that just helps you get around the board because you need him in certain places to obviously activate the sticky objectives.
You lean into his sticky objectives,
Exactly.
Good.
You know, I mean, the firepower in the Warriors is really good, but again, you'd maybe want to pair them instead with like a Royal Warden, because Royal Wardens allow them to fall back, because as soon as they're tied up in combat, they're useless. Let's be honest.
I mean, the Necron characters, the main thing is buffing, isn't it? Which is, I know you can say that about a lot of characters, it's true, but particularly about Necron characters. We haven't got a lot of characters that are there to just kill stuff, per se, apart from Catan, obviously.
Of course.
But infantry characters like Trazyn, he's meant to buff units. Overlords are meant to buff units.
Exactly.
And I would, if you're taking a blob of warriors, you're probably thinking about taking like an Overlord with a Res Orb, or a Royal Warden with the fallback, like you said. So to make them a bit more resilient. He just doesn't add enough for me to make it work.
Nah, exactly. The other way that I was kind of thinking about, and obviously what some other people mentioned out there as well, was in the Hypercrypt Legion, you bring like a squad of 5 or a squad of 10 Lich Guard, and with the Dan, step in, please.
Dispersion shield. Yes.
There we go. Can I pronounce it? But yeah,
sword and board guys. Yeah,
that's the one.
Yeah.
Teleport them around to get them onto the objectives, and then basically next turn it stickies them, and then you kind of rinse that cycle to kind of pop around the board. This is why I prefer the squad of 5 Lich Guard, because squad of 5 with swords and board, 4 up invuln save. You're quite tanky, 2 wounds each. So just kind of popping them around the board to kind of sticky the objective, not to really engage or anything like that, but just kind of pop around the board.
I really like that because it's a reasonably low cost way of doing it to get some decent durability because you do. That's the thing for sticky objectives, obviously. It's sticky in your next command phase.
Exactly.
So you need to get on it and then survive until your next turn.
Yeah.
And 10 Lich Guard feels like an overinvestment. 5 feels about right.
Yeah, 5's like 85 points plus Trazyn, 75.
160 points there.
Exactly.
It's not bad.
Yeah, just to pop around and get the ball, because again, you know what's like area denial. It's always like hard one to get. So Cosmic Precision them in there, in the middle, grab it, and then you know they'll probably survive relatively well, unless like really focuses loads of units in there. But if they survive, then you can just teleport them up.
Well, we talk about this is like asking your opponent hard questions, forcing them to make choices. And if they have to sink a lot of their firepower or combat power into eliminating that Trazyn unit, then it's done its job in a way.
Exactly.
If they don't, then it's just going to hop about and score you points, which is great.
Exactly.
So
having that sticky objective in the middle forces your opponent to come out as well. So it's like, all right, I've sticked it, I've went away. Now you've got to get in the middle.
That's when your Nightbringer pops out and goes, right, come on then.
Time for dinner.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's probably one of the better ways to play
You've kind of taught me into trying him now.
That's what I wanted. That's what I want from these videos, to get people.
The 5 Lich Guard, I'm like, maybe.
Because it's not that pricey, realistically, for an easy drop in. Should be golden.
Okay.
Should be golden.
Good.
Perfect stuff. Well, moving on to how best to verse the Trazyn.
How do we get rid of him?
again, he's by his stat block, he's not the tankiest guy out there. Look, if you get him in combat, especially with the warriors or immortals, just use precision. The old
Necron Achilles heel.
Yeah, pretty much there. Yeah, what's it called again? It was a heroic engagement.
No, it's epic. Something other epic challenge.
Epic challenge. There,
yeah,
yes.
so you can do it in melee. Gives you precision if you can see the model. That's a good way. Someone like, as a Dark Eldar player, someone like the Hesperax will be rubbing her hands in joy. She's
gobble them up.
Yeah,
easily.
If you've got something like death marks or eliminators, whatever, something weapons with precision, shooting weapons. I've forgotten what guns are called there. Those shooty weapons.
Yeah, those shooty ones. Those ones that just go bang bang.
If you've got pew pew, then with precision, then you're all right.
Yeah, it's very true because look, at the end of the day, he's not that strong, so you can easily take him down easily.
I mean, he's a 4-up in run's okay, but the fact, like you said, the fact that you can't, like in 9th, I could precision him and kill him.
Yeah,
well, we didn't have precision, but you know what I mean. We could kill him, and then you could pop back.
Yeah,
you then on a 2-up. Then he comes. He kind of resurrects in the body, in the space of where another Necron character was.
That was a bit better because it was like, all right, you've surprised us, you've jumped the gun and you've got us.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, he has a little sneak up behind, brought him back. But this one, it's like once you've got him, you've got him.
So you have to make the decision to do that, trigger his ability before he's dead.
Exactly.
So it's a bit tricky.
Yeah, it's hard.
So I mean, and like you said, you can also ignore him, I guess.
Yeah, because
he doesn't really.
Well, what's the point? I mean, he's feeling the warriors. You're more scared of the warriors than you are of Trazyn at that point. All them lethal hits from 20 blob of 20. So you'd be really focusing down. You wouldn't really care about him. You'd just be really focusing the squad that he's with.
So if he's leading the Lich Guard as well, does he give the Lich Guard -1 to wound when the strength of the weapons is higher than the toughness as well, doesn't he?
Because that's just the Guardian protocol for the Lich Guard, isn't it?
Yes. So the only way that unit he kind of buffs just by default, but he doesn't. But for your warriors or whatever, like you said, you're better off with, unless you're playing Awakened Dynasty, because then leading a unit gives them +1 to hit.
Yes, correct.
But outside of that, you're not getting a lot out of him, are you?
Not a great deal.
Yeah.
Not a great deal. But ignore them just because again, stick objectives, sure. But if you're moving up the board anyways, like if you're an Orc player or Angon moving up the board, you won't really care because you'll be like, I'm going to get there anyways.
I think our play style for Necrons, it would be difficult to think of maybe an Oops-all Catan list, because then your Catan are kind of coming up the board, causing havoc, and your opponent has to focus on them, and Trazyn can hop around and sticky the objectives for you.
True. Yeah.
But the other almost all the other detachments, our play style is we want to be on the objectives. So sticky objectives doesn't actually synergize that well with what we want to do.
You could take 10 Lich Guard, teleport them off the board, stick it on objective, and then continue moving forward.
Yes.
But again, since he's not really amazing in combat, I'd rather have an Overlord with that unit, or Immotech. And just use his ability where gives all those mortal wounds off and such. So
farms your CP.
Well, he farms CP, immortal wounds, so he just doesn't really compete against other similarly priced guys.
That leads us on nicely to a bonus section.
A little bonus section,
We scratched our heads and thought about how we could make him better. Like, what could GW do to improve his rules? Because a points cut ain't going to help.
Yeah.
I mean, he's already relatively cheap at 75. So you've got some great ideas here. Do you want to run us through them?
Honestly, just in my mind, I've said for ages, I love Trazyn. I think he's great. Everyone knows he's low. Everyone knows he's a little sneaky guy with his little Pokeballs, and he throws them out with different armies. So one of those little unique things that we could have is a unique detachment where we can bring allied units, and that's not limited to a couple of them. It's basically every army we're allowed to bring certain units from that army. Some guardsmen, some Space Marines, some Chaos Space Marines. It would just be really funny just to throw out a squad of Space Marines from Trazyn and be like, boom. Yeah. Here's, some immortal, some not immortals, but here's like Space Marines, Tyranids. It would just be really funny to see that in the game, because what's it? Chaos Cultists can happen, Gene Stealers can such that. So just seeing different armies in a different army would be funny in my eyes.
It would be really funny. I think it would be the competitive players would have an absolute field day with it, and you'd end up facing some horrible lists.
It would be,
but if you put the detachment in Legends, so that it was like it's a non-competitive one, but it's there for the fun. I think that would be brilliant.
It would be so good to see. Good to see. So that's the first one I've got. But the other one, just more custom abilities. So just maybe from the book where the books that he has. There was at one point in the book. I don't want to spoil too much of the book, but there's one point in the book where there's multiple Trazans.
Yeah.
That would have been really funny to be like, oh, look, I think at one point, like, you opens like a portal and, like, I think, like, 8 Lich Gods step out, but then they all turn into Trazans.
Yeah,
and it's like 8 Trazans, and then they're all fighting as him against the, obviously, whatever happens in the book. No more spells. Go read the book. If you haven't
Definitely read the books.
But yeah, that was really good to see where it's like multiple Trazans. It's like, oh, hold on, like which one's the real one?
Yeah,
kind of thing. And it's like they're all the real one. They're all not the real one. One loses, but well, you know, it gets transferred to another one. I don't know, just something like that would be really fun to see.
I think that would be awesome. It really would, and that would be like a once per game ability you can trigger. I think to synergize with that, he needs to be able to punch a bit harder.
Exactly.
So if his weapon was a bit better, even just with some AP on it, maybe, then that would. Then it would be worth doing something like
easily.
That.
Just give him the void type, something like that, because I mean, the name itself is fantastic. You know, Obliterator. Yeah. You'd expect something a bit more punchy.
Yeah, it does need to obliterate things, doesn't it?
Yeah.
AP 0, man, come on.
So they're the two main things.
I think those are good ideas. I think they're all really good ideas. I think the other one for me that I thought of, if in terms of his existing ability, would simply be to revert it back to 9th, so as after he dies you can trigger it.
Yeah.
Or to simply fix it so that you don't have to kill another Necron character. I don't see why. Like you said, he's Trazyn. He can pop up where he likes.
Yeah.
He should just be able to say, right, well, he was here, but now his unit doesn't move, but he's now here.
It would actually be nice if like, that unit went into reserves, because then it's like, all right, like you teleport to that.
Sorry, I just got excited and whacked the microphone.
You're right. It would be awesome just to move that guy to, move Trazyn to a Royal Warden. That Royal Warden goes into reserves, and that means, let's say you get behind enemy lines, well, you've got some extra units to
bit
use.
Of utility, yeah.
Exactly. Kind of just, it just adds to it. Then 75 points turns into a guy who can put people into reserves to come in later to get points. That's more advertising.
That all of a sudden we're getting the proper merge there of the real flavour of Trazyn with some actual in-game utility.
Exactly.
Yeah, I really like that.
It's good.
Really like that.
That's really nice.
Brilliant.
And the last one was really just give him some justice. I don't care what people want to do. Yeah, just give him a buff, give him some extra stuff. It would be lovely to see, because I think realistically, a few people have commented as well, just saying, look, since he came out, he's not had the best glow up.
He's a very neglected child at Games Workshop at the moment.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, you look at his partner, Orican.
Yeah,
he's
very model,
quite
pretty
good.
decent. Yeah,
lovely. But apart from Trazyn, it's justice for Trazyn. Get that hashtag going.
Yeah, hashtag justice for Trazyn. Also, thank you again for those of you who contributed. A lot of it was similar to us, which is like, well, actually, he's not very good at his struggle. One person that does use him is Simon from Rally Point Games and Minds. And we've just recorded a video with Simon, which will be coming out soon. So
hopefully soon there, yeah.
So we'll link that as well in the description. Go and watch that. And also, if there's any ways we've missed that you use Trazyn, let us know in the comments.
Definitely.
Otherwise, thank you again for watching. Please keep sharing, and subscribing. We've just hit 2,300 subs.
That's the one. Yeah, doing really good.
Yeah.
Happy with that.
Thank you very much, everybody. And we'll be back soon with a new video.
Thank you.